If you look, the dead branches are hung up in a living tree. This one right back here, that one, and that's fine. The tree is essentially leaned over. It's rendered safe. Now nobody lives on the other side of this land, so I can leave this tree for however long it takes to fall. Getting the rope out of it's going to prove to be just slightly difficult. But the tree is rendered safe. In other words, it can't fall on my cabin. But let's look down here at this baby, and let's look at the deal. If you look inside there, and I'm not going to stick my hand to clean the debris out, if you look, a whole lot of that tree, especially right in this area, is very solid, as is out here. And this is covered with sawdust you really can't see. Now the tree was struck by lightning. You have less than 2 inches of hinge that's holding it. And here you can see how rotted this part of the tree is. And that is also what translates down here. So we had all this rotted stuff coming in, and the lightning striking it was a good deal. It solidified the wood that was still solid, so that when I went to go cut this little baby, I was cutting into rock, which also explains why it took 7 hours for this thing to fall, in spite of the fact that I had those ropes pulled as physically tight as I possibly dared. The come along was as tight as I could pull it. I couldn't pull it any tighter. The continuous rope puller, the Mazdam, and I will try to put a link in at this point. It was as tight as I possibly could get it. In fact, I physically could not pull the Mazdam any tighter. So I know it was maxed out at about 1,500 pounds. Now the tree is caught up in there. That's no big deal. A little bit later, I will start to get my ropes out. What I'll do is I'll loosen my ropes, and I'll reach up using a stick and try to grab onto the ropes and loosen them. The one with the bag will come down the easiest. That one up there is going to be a bit of a bear. I may have to do a little cutting to get that one to come down, but actually it's not going to be that big a problem. I can stand on this side of that tree right there and cut this little stuff out, and that should start the tree to fall. Now down here at the bottom, I really don't care what this does. When they're struck by lightning, they turn to concrete or rock or whatever you want to say. You just can't cut them. So the tree is now safe. It's been pulled away from my cabin and away from my fence and away from, well, I can't even see them, away from my little guys. And so we're good on that. What I may do, just because to me life should be an experiment, what I may do is bore some holes into this thing and put stump rot stuff in it and see if that'll help it to rot out quicker. Just because I'm curious. For me, everyday life is an experiment. Makes a big difference in how I view things too. I want you to look at how beautiful, I hope you can see how beautiful that is. Look how beautiful all this is. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. This tree, if the wind blows, will go ahead and come on down to the ground. The ropes no longer have tension on them, so I don't have to worry about them breaking if the tree falls. Back here, that was my pull point using that deal that I got off of that utility pole that had fallen. Just, let's see if I can find it here. Right there was the snatch block for the A rope. If you look right up here, the B rope is under a limb, no big deal. Cut this little bitty skinny pine tree that isn't going anywhere anyway, it's not going to make it. Pole saw that down and everything will fall out. These other trees, They're kind of sad. When a tree gets as tall as some of these do and they don't have the size, they're not going to get big. I'm going to stop with the commentary. Thank you for watching. I appreciate y'all's patronage by watching my videos. This video was for education purposes only. Cutting trees is extremely dangerous. Like I said, to get this one down from the time I had it cut till I was able to overwhelm the fibers to get it to go over was a total of 7 hours. With that said, Dysfunctional Vet out.